Hi everyone, this is Heather from the Flourish.Academy, where our goal is to empower, educate, and elevate you to create a life that you love through the art and business of photography. Today, I'm joined by my good friend Leeann. Hi Leeann.
Hi Heather, thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. So today we're going to take a look at a website and offer some suggestions. We're going to look at what's working well and what we might need to improve. So Leeann's going to walk us through this.
Great. So the website that we're looking at today is Branded Images Photography, and right now we're currently on the homepage of the website. Some of the things that I really love are that the images are large, they're displayed beautifully, they're rolling once we get here. Whenever we came to her website, it was pretty quick and easy to load.
Yeah.
Some of the things that I might improve on this page that I'm seeing is that I have to scroll down a little bit just to see some of the hello text.
Right.
So the text is really great. It tells a little bit about who she is, where she's located, and what kind of photography she does. It also includes a call to action.
Oh, very good. Yeah, very
always
important.
Really great.
Do you have an opinion? Could we change that call to action from a link maybe to a button? What's that?
Yeah, buttons are more visual.
Yeah.
Just because they're a little bit larger on a page. So that might be a really great way to draw people's eye to it a little bit more. And I would even like to see some of this text moved above the fold, meaning that it would go somewhere up here so that ideally if a user comes to this homepage, they don't have to scroll at all.
Oh, right.
Anything that requires scrolling is going to give you more of a chance of losing people along the road. So all in all, I think that this homepage is really nice and very crisp and clean, which I always appreciate in web design. I would just see if it's possible to move some of that text to maybe over into a sidebar or above the images and make them just slightly smaller so you can rearrange and tweak it that way a little bit.
Sounds good. Yeah, let's take a look at that menu at the top. Do you have an opinion on menu, location, how many items, anything like that?
Yeah, generally I think that it's important to keep the number of menu options as small as you can while still giving people a really great idea of the different pieces of your website and making those menu items logical.
Yeah, easy to understand.
Yeah, easy to understand so they know exactly what they're getting when they click on it. I think that hers is great because it's very clear. Here you're going to read a little bit about me. You're going to see my gallery. You're going to see the investment, blog, and contact. It doesn't have any sort of kitschy names to things that could confuse potential clients. And it also doesn't have any photography jargon, which I think is important.
You have to speak like your client.
Right.
Yeah. And also I've heard that if you confuse, you lose.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because if someone doesn't know where they need to go, they're just going to close your site. So you need to make it really clear. If I'm a client, where do I want to go? Where am I going to head next?
Exactly. So the ideal that you want to get for everybody on your website is to get them to contact you, right? I mean, you want people to stick around on your website and ultimately click a contact button. So it's good that her contact button is at the top of the page. And I believe that this menu, we'll click on her about page, does stay, which is great. You want that menu to stay. One thing to consider is if that menu can be static at the top of the page.
Yes.
So you do see that whenever I scroll down, that menu goes away. So if that menu bar could be a static menu bar that stays at the top of the page, that would always allow your users to access those other ports on your page regardless of what they're reading.
Good thinking. How do you feel about putting a button on this page for contact, just, at the bottom of the text?
Again, I always think a call to action is great. Right now, her call to action at the very bottom of the page is let's connect on Pinterest or Facebook. I think that let's connect to my contact form is even better.
Right. You don't want to send them away from your site.
Exactly. So if you can keep them on your site, showing your social media channels is great because you do want people to follow you on social media. But having a larger button that takes them to your contact form would be a good idea. I see here that she does have a I look forward to meeting you link, which will take you to the contact page, which is also good.
Yeah.
It's good to have those kind of things built into the text. I like that she included personal photos of herself. I think that's great to always show your face and to show a little bit more about who she is as a mom, because that might really relate well to her ideal clients. And I like that she included some of the random facts.
Yeah, it's fun to get to know
herself.
people. Right. Yeah. As a client, one of the things I've understood is that on your about page, although they want to learn about you, they also want to know what you can do for them. So everybody's kind of thinking, okay, but what's in it for me? So sometimes they suggest that at the beginning you put some sort of value proposition, or like, this is what I'm going to do for you, so that they know that they feel connected to you and that they're in the right place. So while all this information is fantastic, she might want to begin with some sort of value proposition to her client.
Yeah, and I think that's a great idea. I think she has a little bit about this later on in the text, but to bring it up.
Yes. That part about the goal, my goal, you
right.
know, maybe put that at the top. Here's what I'm going to do for you. And then expand
about
more.
herself.
Yes.
Yeah. The other thing that I notice on this page that is only just mildly confusing to me as a potential client is that on the homepage and on this page, she talks about being a husband and wife team, but I don't see her husband.
Oh, right.
In any of the pictures.
Right.
So you want to make sure that you're clear about who people are working with so that they know, well, is it just you? Is it you and your husband?
Right. Yes.
How does this work? Just something to consider in image selection.
Yep.
And text, the way that you phrase things.
Good point.
Okay, so next we'll go over to her galleries, and she's chosen to break it out into multiple galleries, which I think is fine, but I'm always curious to click on that first gallery page to see what pops up. With her website, I think it's great that we have a couple of different placeholders for that gallery link, because oftentimes I see on menus, the top menu item looks like you can click on it,
but
and
you
really can't.
Right.
So make sure that on your menus, if you are using drop-down menus in any form, that top level link still takes you somewhere, which she's done a nice job of allowing it to really take you somewhere.
That was good.
So I like that these galleries are broken out into different sections so that your client, if they're looking for maternity photos, can come to the website and actually see just maternity photos and not have to hunt through a lot of images. So let's take a look at that maternity gallery.
Hey, may I ask your opinion on those drop downs, though? I've heard conflicting stories about whether or not you should have drop downs in your top level menu. So you click on gallery, you can see all of her galleries. Should she still have gallery as a drop down with all of those items?
I think it's fine to have them like that, but I would maybe rephrase that as galleries.
Oh,
just so people know
there's more than one.
There's more than one. Yeah. Because I am a believer in breaking up galleries into what they actually include.
Smart. So she did that really well here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So now let's talk a little bit about her investment page.
Investment, yes. How much?
The one thing that I noticed on this page initially is that there's instantly a lot of text.
It's a little busy.
It might be a little busy with text. If you can break that down to be a little bit more simple visually, then you might just encourage people to actually read through it.
Right.
Because somebody could potentially come to this page and see all this and be like, this looks confusing.
Right.
And just leave. So if she could break that down a little bit more, and even some things like the travel fees and the sessions exceeding 2 hours, maybe just put that in follow-up emails that you send to clients instead of putting it here, so that they're still getting that information, but it takes that text off of this page.
And as a client, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, but what is the difference between the two? And it's going to take me some time to sort of parse that out, and I don't have time.
Right.
So I'm thinking, I just need to know, you need to be able to tell me really quickly, what is the difference between the two so that I can determine which one is for me.
Right. And it looks like there's the same creative retainer for each of these sessions. So maybe it could just be laid out differently to say 125 creative retainer, and then say for family and children, that is 1 to 2 hour session. For documentary sessions, it's a little bit different with the black and white photos. So just make it a little bit more simple. And then at the bottom, just say, this is for travel within 30-mile radius. Right. You get an online gallery with everything. All the images are retouched to this level, so that it just shows the simple differences between those two types of galleries, and then everything else at the bottom is just, this is what's included. Regardless.
Oh, I agree completely. There's a way to still include all of the information, but simplify it for the user to make it easier to understand.
Right. And just scrolling down, I like not having to scroll on web pages. So if you look at how we scroll down, and there's
nothing
blank
there.
Space. Yeah, so I would see if it's possible to get rid of all of this blank space beneath this text, so you can just shorten up that web page a little bit.
Yeah, there would be no scroll bar. That would be good. Yeah.
Exactly. And then the next one we'll hop over to web page is the blog, which just opened us into a new window.
Interesting. Okay, this sent us somewhere different. It sent us to Zenfolio, so she clearly has a Zenfolio website, or at least the blog component.
Right. Which might concern me a little bit, because it looks and feels different than her other web page. And I would like to see it all cohesive under one umbrella. So one link, one URL, it all stays under the same web page. It's just a separate page for that blog. I don't know exactly what platform she's using behind the scenes for her website versus the blogging service, but this can definitely be consolidated under one umbrella.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with Zenfolio, you can actually export your blog posts and then import them into a new platform.
Oh, great.
So that's a possibility.
Yeah.
I'm not sure of the exact mechanics behind that, but I know that it can be done.
Yeah. And even if she really wants to stick with having blogging on Zenfolio, rebrand this so that it looks exactly like the other webpage.
Right.
And then make it so that whenever you click on this blog link, it doesn't launch into a new tab.
Right.
So if you're able to brand this upper menu so that it does look exactly the same and it doesn't launch into a new tab, the URL at the top of the page will change because it's actually Zenfolio, but to the clients, they might not see much of a difference. So that might be a workaround.
Yeah, for sure.
Something like that.
Yes.
And then the last page on her website is the contact page. And clicking on that, I love the use of an image here to further tell future clients this could be you.
Yes.
The one thing that I would like to see added to this contact page would be an actual email address and phone number.
Oh, right.
Because if I don't like contact forms, then I'm not filling this out.
And I don't like contact forms.
And I don't like them either.
Yeah, I don't use them.
I have them on my website because I think that they're still
valuable. They need to be there. Some people will use them. I'll actually just copy and paste the email address into like Gmail because I don't like using contact forms. And also, I'm not sure about the like and share on the contact page. It's probably just something you can remove. And let me ask you. It
almost looks like it's overlapping that button a little bit.
Something strange.
Yeah.
Let me ask your opinion. On the contact page, I kind of like when they have a picture of themselves.
Yes.
Rather than just an image.
Yeah. Because you have it on your about page, but the contact page it further reinforces, hey, this is the person that you're reaching out to. Let's make a personal connection.
Right.
So having, again, that email address, that phone number on there, and some sort of contact form is fine because everybody reaches out in different methods.
Yep.
And then a photo of you yourself. So I hope that was helpful. I think that overall this website is really nicely done to start. I like that it's clean, that it is very concise in their menu options, that the images selected make sense with the galleries that they go to. I think there's a couple of things that could be adjusted with just bringing that content above the fold and not launching to that other blog page. But all in all, I think that she is really on the right track to having clients contact her easily.
Oh, great. Thank you so much for your time. We hope that you found this useful, and we'll see you in the next video.